Welcome back, everybody, to the Insightful Podcast. We gain insight in order to move forward in life. Today's topic of discussion is how to stop overthinking and start taking action. But before we get into that, if you guys are enjoying the podcast, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and also let me know any future topics you'd like me to discuss on the podcast. So without further ado, let's get into this. The new style of format of podcasts when I do solo ones is going to be breakdowns, and they'll have 5 points explaining the topic. So I have 5 points once again for this one, and I'm just going to get straight into it. So the first point on how to stop overthinking and take action is that overthinking is just fear in disguise. Most overthinking comes from fear of failure, rejection, or making the wrong choice. Recognizing this helps you shift from analysis paralysis to take action. There were so many business ventures that I attempted to do in 2024, or no, sorry, 2023 to 2024, and there were a lot of them. And this is the thing that people don't realize is like all the business models that people speak about online, or all the business models that exist, period, they all work. They're all able to, you're able to start it, you're able to help people, you're able to make a business out of it, you're able to earn money from it. They all work. But it's the analysis paralysis in how to do it, if it works, that stops you from doing it and then making you believe that it's fake or it doesn't work, right? That is the biggest thing. And I'm telling you this because I experienced it myself. There were so many business ventures that I would try, I would do them for a week, then I would start to overthink the entire process, think about how much money it would make, what were the profit margins, was did it make sense for me to do? Would I enjoy doing it 6 months from now? And what would end up happening is after a week of research, I wouldn't even try, right? What would have been better off, me thinking my way out of it or me actually doing it and seeing, okay, maybe this is not for me, and then stopping then? That is the better option. So you got to realize that a lot of the time, it's exactly what I said earlier. It's just fear of rejection and fear of failure, of you thinking that it's not possible, or no one's gonna like that you're doing it, or whatever the case may be, whatever's going through your head. So you need to realize that if you have this perspective, you're able to identify when you are doing this to yourself. And when you are doing this to yourself, you can kind of stop it before it spirals out of control. The next thing is the 5 second rule. Count down from five and take immediate action. This simple trick, popularized by Mel Robbins, interrupts overthinking and forces you to move before the doubt creeps in. This is a great rule because this is something that is perfect for someone that is constantly snoozing their alarm, right? You wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, I'm going to do this method. When the alarm rings, I'm going to count to five, I'm going to turn it off. And then when you're sitting there contemplating to yourself, am I going to go back to sleep and set a new alarm? You give yourself that countdown. I'm going to just get up from my bed. Five, four, three, two, one. Boom. Now you're out of bed. And you can do this with any task that seems daunting at the moment. It might be picking up that book and reading because you haven't read in a while and you kind of feel that you don't want to do that. You want to scroll instead. So you do that countdown, or you're scrolling for too long and you realize, damn, I've been sitting on this couch for a while now. I need to go do something. And then you do that method again. I think it's a really good method. Let's take a quick break to speak about the sponsor for the podcast. I am now working with a company called Attilius Apparel, and if you want Christian fitness wear that looks like this, or this, click the link in the description. Now let's get back into the podcast. For in those moments where you want to procrastinate and you know you shouldn't. The next point is progress over perfection. Many people overthink because they want everything to be perfect, but perfection is an illusion. Focus on getting started and improving along the way. You are not going to have the best physique in the world when you enter the gym. You are also not going to work out your best when you first start going to the gym. You just need to focus on starting and trying to make progress over time. This is the perfect example, right? When I started working out with weights in grade 9, I did extremely high volume training. I'm talking like 20 to 30 reps, 5 sets per exercise, maybe did 6 exercises per day, completely high volume, right? And the way I was training clearly wasn't producing me results because my physique didn't change that much over the period of time I was training like that. But what that allowed me to do is it allowed me to see where my mistakes were, why I wasn't making progress, and then build from there. And I remember, just like it was yesterday, it was 2022 January. I started to train with more intensity. I started to drop the sets, do less volume. And I realized, damn, I'm making a lot of progress, right? But imagine if in grade 9 I decided not to work out because I said to myself, I don't know what I'm doing, so there's no point of even starting. I'm just going to keep watching YouTube videos and keep learning from others until I get it down pat, and then I'll start going to the gym. Maybe I would have never started going to the gym because I would have not found the passion for it because it would have been too late before I started. So I'm telling you that if you could just go in there, do something in your life, whatever that might be, and just say to yourself, I'm going to focus on getting consistently better at this thing. I'm not going to focus on being the most perfect version of myself right off the bat, right? If you're able to do that, you will see that any new daunting task or any new pursuit is actually pretty easy to start. The perspective is all that needs to be changed, right? The next thing you could do is set deadlines and limit choices. Give yourself a strict time limit to make decisions and take action. Too many choices create overwhelm. Simplify and commit. This is so true. When you have a schedule that you created for the day, right? Your routine, give yourself a time limit to complete everything, right? Like today, I'm going to end up filming 4 podcasts. I already have in my mind that I need to have them done by 10:30, right? If I need to have them done by 10:30, I know that I can't, once I'm done recording this podcast, stop and scroll on my phone for a bit because I have a time limit to do it. So you got to kind of self-impose these time limits and these restrictions because that's what allows you to be disciplined. The reason why you were able to study for a test was because your teacher told you Friday we're going to have an exam or have a test, and you would prepare for it because there was a deadline, because there was a date and time for you to complete it. So you just need to do that for yourself. If it's the gym, find a time that works for you to go on a consistent basis and tell yourself, I need to be out of the gym by this time. For me, it's go to the gym for 5, leave at 7, right? Because I got other things to do in the morning. So that's what's very important is setting deadlines and limiting choices. Don't allow yourself too many different things to do at once because that's when all those choices will start to flood your brain and you'll be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then you end up doing nothing. So those 2 points are very important. And then the last point, rewire your brain through action. The more you act, the more your brain learns that action leads to results. Confidence is built by doing, not by thinking about doing. This is so true because I'm telling you right now, when you start to get results in whatever you do, you will actually, procrastination won't exist anymore, right? When I first started posting content and, I wasn't seeing results, I was very inconsistent. But the second I got a video that got over 100,000 views, then it hit 1 million views, I said literally to my brother, I'm building off this momentum. I'm posting 3 times a day, every day. I don't care what happens. I'm going to do this, right? That allows you to just rid yourself of procrastination because you are seeing tremendous results and you don't want to give up when it's going its best, when the momentum is building, right? And then another example of this is recently, for example, copywriting. I used to be very kind of nonchalant about my outreach, and now I've been so consistent with my outreach that I'm seeing responses every single day of people wanting my services, people wanting to work with me. And I'm it's easier for me to stay consistent and reach my quota of outreaches for the month because I'm actually starting to see results. But you'll only ever see those results is if you stay consistent in the first place. So that is the only way to build confidence, is to go through that consistency period and see that it's actually possible. All right, guys, that is the end of the podcast. That is how I believe that you guys can stop, you know, overthinking and start to take action in your day to day life. And that's kind of all I have to go through today. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, remember, like, comment, subscribe, get this video pushed out, maybe share it with some friends that could see value in it. And what's it called? Also, remember to follow us on Spotify. And I guess I'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Crush a cold to a diamond, eyes forever shining. Your beauty alone inspire a nigga to rhyme it.